Cadre. Back, I think this is just episode number 2 of whatever I called it, Vacation Memories or something like that. Finally got off my keister to look up the dates of a vacation and a shave I did then. Oh, a little pasty. This one is going to be approximate because oftentimes when I went on trips, I would take shave soap samples, and once they're used up, I don't have any more. So I used K Shaveworks Beechwood Forest for this shave. I love that one. They don't make it anymore. I looked for it for a few times. So this is Talbot Shaving Marlogue Wood. I found a woody scent. This is the razor I use, the Mercure 38C. The blade is, again, similar. I didn't want to swap out. There's one already in there. On the actual vacation, I used a Wilkinson sword blade. This is an Israeli Persona blade. I guess I gotta slow down the shave here. We're not gonna get, I'm just used to go in the morning. So this one, probably seen the titles, to Washington, D.C. My wife had to go there for business, and so I piggyback on her hotel room and managed to change her flights around so I could book seats for myself. So yeah, just hotel room shaves. So this was a cool trip. The bummer was it was in the heat of summer. I think it was June of 2018. And it was hot. So my goal was to not add to the expense of the trip much by not using Ubers and things to get around. And so everything was, quote, within walking distance, but you know, that walk was decently long. I think it took a half an hour to get down to kind of the, what do they call that? The mall, maybe a little longer. But it was already hot in the morning, so I'd be sweaty by the time I got anywhere. But I got to do some cool stuff that I'd never done before. I never spent the time to do. We talked about this too, that because my wife was working during the day, so I was kind of on my own, so I could pick things that I thought might not interest anybody else, like Library of Congress. I don't know how open it is to get to like where all the books are or whatever, but like kind of their display area. And I don't even know what you would call it. They've got a display about the Jefferson Library, which kind of started the whole thing. That was all very cool. That you can just walk into their gift shop and stuff. Wasn't planning on it, but that, you know, I didn't really know the layout of everything. And once you kind of get down in there, there's things just, you know, right next to each other. So I saw the other side of the Capitol building there. Then I saw the Supreme Court. So I think I did a quick Google search right then and there. And realized what doors you can go in, and that you can just walk in there if they're not in session. Maybe if they're in session, you can just walk in too, but you can just walk the halls of the Supreme Court to a decent extent. And then happen to be there to line up for a tour just before a big old school group. So got to actually, you know, go sit in the Supreme Court, which that's pretty cool. Having the experience. Like anything else, probably not as big as you would think it would be. You know, just a courtroom. But anyway, pretty cool. Went to the Air and Space Museum. I'd done that several times growing up. And I'd say that was a bit of a disappointment. I don't know if it's because I'd seen some of the stuff growing up, which means some of the displays really have not changed for 30 plus years, which was kind of sad. They looked very dated. They obviously had some new things. Some things that were interesting. But I remember just not holding the fascination it did when I was growing up. We got to do kind of just a walk on the mall at night, which was beautiful. All the lights and such. There's bugs out there. We don't have the little no-see-ums and stuff like that out here in California, you know. So you'd be walking along and you'd have the overhead light lighting up the path from time to time with all the like cloud of bugs underneath the light. Yeah, we don't have to deal with that. Then one morning, how did it work? I did take a Uber out to National Cemetery. I wanted to see the changing of the guard. Man, and I'll tell you, once you get there, it's a decent hike back to where they do that, to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And I'd say if you're at all interested, and you haven't, you should look up on YouTube. They've got documentaries about becoming a guard of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. It's impressive. I mean, you know, obviously they are very disciplined, and but to the extent that nobody would know unless you read about it or watched a show about it or something. Just crazy. So I saw that, but by the time kind of quick marched it back there, because I had read that, you know, if you get there right away, it's not too busy. And then after that, kind of all the slower folks and school groups and stuff start showing up. But I was drenched. I mean, it was warm and humid, I'll tell you that. But then I saw, I don't know, the Apollo 1, the guys that died in the fire kind of has always touched me. And so two of them were buried at the Tomb of the buried in Arlington. So I hiked to go see them, and that's a big place. So, you know, you can get a map, and on the map they mark most of the areas where famous folks are that people would want to track down, and, you know, so to get from one to another can be quite a hike. And then that day my plan was to go to the American History Museum. So I did see the original Star Spangled Banners. I guess you saw it. It's just a big flag with some holes and rips in it, and kind of a very dark area to protect it, and you can't take pictures or anything. But the rest of that museum, it just didn't hit it for me. So the one I had debated about is going out to, there was an annex for the Air and Space Museum, and so since I spent almost no time in the American History Museum, I did get an Uber out to there. That's out at the airport. And that was super cool. Again, you know, because I'm into aeronautics and space flight and stuff like that. If you're not, probably not interesting. So we did the alum. We're going to do, there's lemon. I do take this on vacation. I have a little spray bottle. Spray it on my face. What did I say? Oh, so that was super impressive to me. Maybe because it was all new stuff. It is all updated. Nothing looks dated in terms of displays and stuff, plus things you'd never seen before. So the highlight of that, two of them, one would be seeing an SR-71 in person. If you've never seen one in person, that's very cool. But the biggest one was the space shuttle. You can get very, very close to the space shuttle. To the point, I think the tail of it, you can almost walk under. It's high enough you can't touch it. So the barriers are like, I think, as close as they could get. So you can see like extreme details that, I don't know, unless you had photos in a book or something of extreme close-ups, you would never notice. So that was really cool. And then kind of the standard stuff, some of the big monuments and the Holocaust Museum, things like that. Certainly would like to go back there. Again, maybe where it wasn't wet and sweaty everywhere we go. Let's see, I don't have to change this up. So, not the 2-in-1. We usually do the 2-in-1. You can see the Aquanaut in there. He's still floating around in there. But on vacation, this is what I used before I found 2-in-1, is the Nivea Post-Shave Balm, alcohol-free. So in my travel kit, I take I just put some of this into a small bottle. But this is what I used to use every day. Good stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'm obviously doing this series because we can't go anywhere. It's finally, we're a year into it, and we're finally talking about maybe getting a VRBO over spring break and going somewhere, feeling safe enough with precautions to do that. I know some people are going all over on planes and resorts and things like that, and I don't know, nobody in our family's gotten it. Some of that's luck, because I know people that are super cautious that get it anyway, but some of that is, we're taking the precautions, right? So, anyway, yeah, but it's a bummer. Major trip last summer was canceled. We've already canceled this summer. We might try to do something towards the end of summer. If things improve, we'll do like a last minute thing, but not any of our big stuff that we plan a year ahead of time. So anyway, there we go. Finishing off with Euphoria. This is what I took. I think this came with like a small little sprayer bottle. So I took that oldie but a goodie. This is is this the first? Early when we were dating, my wife got me Euphoria. Well, I don't think this one she got for me. So I think this is the first one I got kind of with her. I was never into fragrances before, decided I'll be more sophisticated when shopping. And I think we picked this one out together. The other one she got me was Bleu de Chanel. I think that one she actually bought for me. You don't care. That's it. Shave's over. BBS as always. I'm afraid I kind of flew by this one, but such is life. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we can get back out there. See you on the forums.